Sanbon, welcome back to my channel and a happy Sunday to you. One of the most important things that Mkhwanazi announced last week Sunday this time was the role of the NPA as well as the judiciary. We saw that yes, SENZO Mchunu has been facing the backlash. The judiciary replied and said that no, we want the evidence, And on the other hand, the NPA has been quiet, but today they came and said that tomorrow they're hearing the arguments for the appeal yaga Omotoso, as if that will make a difference. Because we know, guys, even with Bushiri, he ran, actually didn't get deported. He ran after he was given bail and he never came back. Now they've been trying to extradite him, acting like they're trying to extradite him. They've not been able to successfully extradite him back to South Africa. Omotoso naye, they sent him back, deported him back to his country. This is the type of treatment that Omotoso is getting when he arrived in this country. And do they think that, let's just say the appeal is upheld, do they think that Omotoso will be deported back to South Africa? No, I don't think that will make sense. That is the NPA that Mkhwanazi has exposed. And I think that those are some of the sectors that are very important for CYRIL Ramaphosa to address today. I don't think that the only problem that CYRIL Ramaphosa is faced with tonight that he has to address is only the issue of SENZO Mchunu. He has to address the judiciary. He has to address the implications of the NPA and what's the way forward. Speaking about what he must do today or what we are expecting to hear from him, we saw in the news that Nkabane, who's the Minister of Higher Education, was implicated in a lot of corruption and lying to Parliament with regard to panel members that are selecting the board sitters, as well as the sitter board members, the members of NESFES and all of that. We found out Wuti, she was in a way to Beijing in China to part of the delegation that accompanies the Deputy Minister, and it's found that she was stopped and said that do not go. I don't know if CYRIL Ramaphosa's announcement today involves him addressing her allegations, the allegations that she's been faced with, including the case that the Democratic Alliance has opened against her. We'll find out today, but I think that high chances she might be reshuffled. As for being fired, I doubt, because we saw that last week Ufikile Mbalula was defending her with everything he had. He spent a good 5 minutes, more than he spent on the Mkhwanazi situation, defending Nkabane. So I doubt that Nkabane will be fired. I think that the most probable thing that will happen is for her to be reshuffled or be defended further by the president himself. And then speaking of SENZO Mchunu, it is said that SENZO Mchunu has requested instead for a special leave. A special leave. Okay, so those who don't understand, it's like you taking a leave because there's investigation against you, but you will still get the same benefits that you were getting as a minister. Guys, one thing that I know that enables people that are corrupt is money, meaning that he will still receive his full payment. And if he receives his full salary, isn't that a waste of taxpayers' monies? Because if you're gonna hire someone in his position, you are definitely wasting taxpayers' monies. So they must be very careful in what they're going to do with regards to his special leave. Is he gonna still get the benefits? And I think that his special leave will give him all ample time for him to go and intimidate witnesses, intimidate even Mkhwanazi, so that he might found not guilty. I foresee a situation whereby when they come back, they'll say that he is not guilty, because definitely Ramaphosa is under pressure for him to do something about Mkhwanazi's situation. Let us look at the resolutions that were taken in one of the NC's conferences and what was discussed there and what are the rules with regards to such situations that Mkhwanazi is facing. In the NC resolution, which is the NC National Conference resolution, if you can look at page 5, which is 53, I think it's subsection 53, if we can put it like that. It says, on dealing with misconduct, crime, corruption, and ill-disciplined conferences. Reaffirmed the step-aside resolution of the 54th conference. The future of the NC and the trust of our people depends on the speedy and uniform implementation. We cannot, as the government party, ask for the trust of the people while deploying people charged with serious crimes. The conference urged the NEC to ensure that the regulations be implemented uniformly, impartially, consistently, and fairly, and not used to fight factional battles, and that the situation of those who step aside may be reviewed every 6 months. Urged the NEC, PEC, and RECs to ensure that corruption cases and misconduct disciplinary hearings are speeded up. The Integrity Commission and the Disciplinary Committee in the NC have to be held to deadline that do not unduly prejudice affected comrades. We must publicly dissociate with those that are corrupt, commit serious crimes, abuse women, children, and involved in sexual harassment. Cadres who are charged should not wait for the ANC to tell them to step aside, but should do so before being asked. Their preparedness to protect the image of the ANC is also a measure of their level of political maturity and whether it is the first place that deserves senior position in the movement. If at all cases of abuse of the step aside rule, such as false accusation and malicious persecution, is identified and proven, this should be sanctioned to the maximum extent of the law, this code of conduct. So from this, I think that it is best that, especially since the cases were opened against SENZO Mchunu by I heard that even Nkabane opened the case, but also the MKP and the DA opened cases. He's supposed to be charged so that he can step aside on his own, not the special leave thing. And also, guys, from here, if you guys can remember, from reading this, if you guys can remember the Zuma situation, Zuma was not convicted. Zuma was charged. And they removed him. They couldn't even wait. They told him that you must remove yourself as the president. We will not remove you. Even Londoza, Chief Justice or former Chief Justice Zondo, this is what he had to say with regards to Zuma and everything.
I've already mentioned the SIU, but I think I deserve to mention the judiciary, because it is the judiciary that issued the Nkandla judgment that, in the view of many, turned the tide. It is the judiciary that sent out a very good message that whether you are president or a former president, if you have done wrong, we will send you to jail. It is the judiciary that made sure that when some irregularities were done to release a former president from prison, it is the judiciary which declared that release was unlawful.
So clearly, the NC pardoned Zuma with that 1-year presidential pardon. But besides that 1-year presidential pardon, we see a situation whereby this law was implemented very, very much strictly on Zuma. Why not implement the same thing on SENZO Mchunu? Yes, he says that here it should be charged. There's cases that have been opened against Mchunu, and that is enough for them to ask him to step aside and select a new person while he's pending investigation. And then when he's not found guilty, something else can be done going forward. I don't know, or again, maybe I'm just, I don't get it. I don't know. Please comment your thoughts, guys. What do you think? Do you think that they should do what they've done to Zuma, to SENZO Mchunu? Because Zuma was not convicted, was only charged. Now Mchunu is also facing charges. The best they can do is to make sure that they implement their laws equally throughout. And guys, please comment your thoughts, guys, and tell me what you think. Do you think that is fair? And also, I think that it would have been beautiful if this whole national address or whatever that is that Ramaphosa is going to do, they were going to invite the public, or they're going to invite the media. Do it the way they did it in the White House, where people are getting the chance to ask the president who's president, instead of him telling us, and you don't even have the right or the opportunity to ask him, to challenge him, to say that, what do you mean by this? Instead, tomorrow, Mofigile Mbalula will be coming here defending his stance and not even answering media questions. I don't know. Please, guys, comment your thoughts. Otherwise, me, myself, and I'll see you on my next upload. Bye.